Good morning. It's Sunday, May 9th, Mother's Day, and I hope everybody out there is planning something great for their mother. I myself am planning to do something, but I'm not sure exactly what it is since we're in a pandemic, so I don't know if we'll go out to dinner or what we're going to do. But meanwhile, I want to talk to you about this whole jobs report and what the conservatives and the Republicans and Fox News are saying about this jobs report. Their contention is that the reason that there were so few jobs taken, 260,000 instead of the million that the economists were reporting, is because we have been too generous with our stimulus packages. We are giving people unemployment and we are giving people money, and therefore those people don't feel like going back to work. Now, I contend that there may be some percentage, maybe 10% of the people who didn't go back to work are doing it for that very reason. But what are the causes of the other 90%? Why are they staying home? Because this pandemic has affected not only the jobs of people, but their lifestyles. What are we doing about childcare? Can all those people who depend on childcare and go to work, can they just go to work when there is no childcare available? When the childcare facilities are closed? Or maybe they never even existed in certain parts of the world? It's an impossible situation to declare one reason and one reason only. Unemployment insurance. Too much money. We're giving out too much money. Well, we're not giving out too much money. We have made some mistakes in the distribution of money. There is no question about that in my mind. We have given money to people who really didn't need it. People in my universe who have been retired for many years and have been living on the same amount of money for the same amount of years. We didn't need any stimulus money. Even if our parameters fell within the parameters that they decided, this $50,000 or $60,000 a year income. We basically didn't need any more money because we were living fine and we didn't lose our jobs and things like that. And what about the employers? And the employers who worry about liability for one reason or another. And they're not hiring because there may be liability involved. And I don't know exactly what that means, exactly what kind of liability the employees could have because of the pandemic. But if there is a liability situation that's causing this unemployment, then that should be accounted for. We should be able to take care of any employer liability situations. Maybe the employers don't want to be responsible for people coming to the office who are infected. Maybe the employers want to not have people come to work if they haven't been vaccinated. So if they're worried about those things, we have to take care of it. And we've already said it's okay for employers to tell people they can't come to work if they're not vaccinated. So people might have gotten a check and they're not vaccinated and they don't intend to be vaccinated. So that's a big problem, and that should be in this situation. And don't forget, for years, we've had 7 million jobs that have not been filled. So how come we can't fill those jobs? Is that the fault of the pandemic? No, that's the fault of our educational system, probably, because we haven't educated those people, well enough to take some of the jobs that are out there and waiting for somebody. And what about the situation with schools? If the schools are not open and the kids have to stay home, then the parents have to stay home. So you've got two types of things. You got the little kids who need childcare and the older kids who can't go to school. They're stuck at home and they're not old enough to be left alone for long periods of time. So you got an 8, 9, 10-year-old child and he's got to be home a couple days a week. because of the pandemic. So what do you do about that? That's the situation. It's part of the problem. School's not open. Childcare's not open. And let's put this on the table, too. What about companies that realize that maybe they had too many employees? And they realized that now they were going to change their operation, their day-to-day operation, and more people are going to work from home. And basically, maybe that's a factor. Maybe companies have realized that they don't need as many people on the payroll as they had before, and those jobs have disappeared. And then you got people who may have worked in some industry like the restaurant and food business, and they decide they don't want to go back to those jobs because that's a tenuous situation. And they're looking and they found some other jobs. Or maybe they didn't find jobs, but they're going to take the opportunity now to look for more work, look for a different kind of work. You got that situation. And then maybe during the pandemic, there's a bunch of people who decided they're going to go finish their college education or something. So they're going to take 6 months and get a degree while they're collecting this money. So there are many factors that people are not considering in this whole period of accusation that the people won't go to work because we gave them too much money. I don't believe that's true in 90% of the cases. There's got to be some underlying factor. Maybe they work for a shitty boss, and this is an opportunity to take time and find another job. And nobody's taking into account all the businesses that went out of business. What about all the jobs that were associated with those companies? How many small businesses went under and those people are out on the street? People who had a job. And maybe they had a job that there is very few people who can do that job, and there's very few businesses who are hiring those kinds of people. So this factor, this myth, that it's the unemployment insurance that are causing people to stay home and not go to work. It's a joke. And anybody who believes that is not really thinking properly. So I will leave you with that. I will leave you with the fact that people collecting unemployment insurance, they don't want to go to work. They're not going to go back to work until the insurance runs out. Therefore, we have to stop the payments. That's a line of conservative bullshit. And so I will leave you with that and see you in the morning. Bye.